All right, welcome back everybody. I hope you're doing all right. I hope you're having a great and pleasant day. Out here we are having blue skies, which is actually very fitting after all those depressing days that we had in the past. Yeah, this is a nice change. So, of course, we're having our coffee today, black like my soul, but not like my inner light. All right, so yeah, let's dive right in, of course, because this is what you guys are all tuning in for. First things first, we did have our correction to the downside. We did see another swipe to the upside, actually retesting this lower trend line from this former formation that we have been making. Actually, this is actually quite normal. Was actually to be expected. Nonetheless, what are we looking for right now? As we have been pushing, as we have seen, let's talk like this, because we have not been doing anything. As we have seen, price has been pushing its way up, and RSI also has been pushing up. Now, on the short term, on the 1 hour time frame, we do notice that we have a bearish divergence here, which is actually playing out right now by pushing price back down. And what have I said? After this enormous swipe to the downside, a very nice signature would be a retest of the lower area, forming either a bullish divergence if the retest is actually very strong, and usually I don't even think it would go like this. If we have a bullish divergence, it would really rather be something like this, making a lower low on price and keeping a higher low on the RSI. This is what I'm expecting at lowest. Of course, there are levels to be kept in mind, like we're going to measure this out. I'm not gonna eyeball this stuff, but another structure that would have been just as healthy and acceptable is making a higher low on the price and maintaining the higher low structure on the RSI. All right, now this is the 1 hour time frame. Like I said, when we zoom out to the higher time frames, let's go to the 4 hour, maybe even the 5 hour. Yeah, the 4 hour seems good. On the 4 hour time frame, we can notice that this is a local high, but what was a local high on the 1 hour time frame is not a local high on the higher time frames. So this is why I do not expect this move here to the downside to be severe and a strong continuation. I really do expect, for now, cautiously, being careful, of course, with my words, that this would be caught up here in somewhere this area and then continue the trend. Is this going to be an explosive move to the upside? Honestly, I'm not so sure, because we did see quite some selling off. And after selling off, those are all people who were taking profit. After selling off, everybody is going to try to find a new entry point. Some people already did here. This is why we have this enormous wick. Some other people are more cautious and wait for confirmation to start buying in on the other levels. So basically what they're doing is just getting ready to buy the dip. Just like the saying goes, buy the dip, buy the dip. Of course, until proven otherwise. Like some YouTubers like to say, the trend is your friend until proven otherwise. And this is very important to keep this in mind, because otherwise you might get burned. I would never ever think about shorting a situation like this, because on the overall, this is still an uptrend. As long as we maintain the higher lows, this is considered an uptrend, and you trade it the way you would trade an uptrend. Is it sad to have missed the opportunity to get some profit off of this short? Yeah, but it's not something that will kill my portfolio. On the other hand, shorting something that is dumping and then seeing it go all the way up, this is what kills your portfolio. So keep all these little things in mind. Of course, I'm not going to tell you what you should be doing or what you have to do. This is not up to me, but this is just my way of trading this entire situation. Now here, looking at the 4-hour time frame, this is actually, we see a nice reset of the RSI structure. So again, this is this in my book is looking rather healthy. This was to be expected after such a dump and such a massive run up, that again, people who bought in here, they want to take their profit. Everybody was looking at this barrier of the all-time high, and as long as we didn't break it, nobody was ready to step in and hold on even longer. Well, maybe some people did. This is why we have a few selling points, one after the other. But yeah, the structure was there. We were looking at it from quite some time. So yeah, it's fairly logical and understandable what happened. Now, let's dive into the more technical stuff, and let's have a look at the levels to be maintained for this situation to remain healthy. Now, what we don't want to see, and I'm just going to try and explain it like this so you understand the logic to my madness. What we don't want to see is a lower low followed by a lower low on the RSI. Okay, this would not mean that we are going down for the dumps, but what it does mean is that at least as long as we stay within this structure and we don't make a lower low with this area, as long as we maintain this, we could still see a recovery, but it's going to take much longer than having the signature that I am hoping for right here. I hope I make myself clear on this. So let's measure it out. Let's see which level needs to be maintained for this structure to remain healthy. And of course, the other low area here, this is easy to see, right? So yeah, maybe we can also make a little measurement for this one, make a real point of no return where we are going to see a complete breakdown. This could also maybe be significant, but I think I'd rather do this one here on the higher time frames, because this is already so long away that the 1 hour time frame is, I don't think it's going to get it completely. Okay, so yeah, let's do it, shall we? So here, this area, let's see the measurements. The RSI is saying 22.5, 22. Let's go with 22.5. I think 22.5 would already do it. 22.5, and we turn on the price levels. So here we see a level of 17,522, which is actually rather low. We're just going to put the purple line at that level, and we're going to go over the higher time frames and see if they agree, or if we need to take some sort of a an average between the different reads that we get. So like always, we're going to go over to the 3-hour, 4-hour, and 5-hour time frame because they have a different interval of closing, and this gives us a little bit more of a better idea to see where to put the average. So the 3-hour time frame, what does it say? Right here, the RSI is sitting at almost 23. That's 22.9. Wow, this one is really extremely low. So the 3-hour time frame actually has a lot of leeway, which is actually rather exceptional. So let's have a look. This would be sitting here at the 17,170. Are we going with it or not? This is the question. How are we going to mark this off? I'm just going to make a real mess of my chart. I do not advise for this. Once we are done with it, I'm going to clean it up, and then we will make it a little bit more clean and understandable. Because yeah, we can't read a chart with millions of horizontals on it. It's a complete mess. But for now, just bear with me. So here we have on the 4-hour chart 24 on the RSI. 24, same thing, 100 something. Let's go over to the 5-hour chart, and here we have 27.5, 27.5, and this is 17,400. Well, you know, to cut it down the middle, I'm going to go with 17,400. I think this is a very nice average, and that should do it. Yeah, already I think that breaking this this trend line here would already say that we would be going much more sideways than still up. As long as we maintain the trend line here, this channel, I think we're good, and we can expect some nice continuation to the upside. But once we start breaking outside of the trend, I do believe we are in for a little bit more of a hesitation and probably some trending sideways. And then over time, we're going to see whether the trend will turn to the upside or just capitulate and turn to the downside. So still, cautiousness is advised. But yeah, there's what do you do? This is a game of probabilities, and you know, there's no crystal ball involved. There's no way to predict the future. All we can do is just be ready for the different possibilities and just make sure that we don't get caught off guard. Now that we are on the 5-hour time frame, I'm going to have a look at the low end here, so we can have a little bit of a measurement with this one. And this is sitting at 26. So yeah, those areas are going to start to overlap. See, as you can see, this one is sitting at 17,200. So that was basically the other area. Let's just keep it within the lower end of the box and maybe drag the box down to the low end of the wick. Yeah, as soon as we start closing below the closing of those low candles, even the closing below could signal a problem. Could signal that we are actually really going to trend all the way down to the former areas of support. For instance, being here at the 13,800, 13,700 area. Probably if we break below all this, we will find our support here on the next area, sitting around $12,000, $11,000 per Bitcoin. So yeah, still a lot can be in play. Make sure to set your stop losses in order, especially in a situation where hesitation is possible. Once we start reaching outside of this area, yeah, what would I do? I would probably, number one, I would scale down my position. Make sure that if we break down, my losses will be cut short, because if we break outside of this area, we can expect a lot more of ranging. So even if you took a little bit of a loss, closing a big part of your position, it's not a big issue, because as time goes by, you can still make a decision whether it's going to turn back to the upside or whether it's going to keep going and keep trending to the downside. So yeah, this would be the area where I would stop being like ready to buy the dip. Once we break below the purple line, this is where I would actually just hold off of everything, maybe set a stop loss, just to limit the losses on my account, and then just wait it out and see swing by swing what is going to happen to be ready to get into a new and better position. And this is the land of opportunities. It doesn't matter. You take a few losses sometimes because we are taking risks. This is a volatile market. It moves worse than the weather in England. So yeah, things are sometimes to be expected. So accept the risks if you get into a position, and make sure that you, number one, look for the contingencies, that you are sure about where to get out and where to set your limits and all these good things. And then afterwards, stick to your plan. Don't get emotional. Do your TA. Recheck the levels time after time after time. I know it's so boring, but it's the only way to do it right. So now that we did this area here, I'm just going to compare it with the lower time frames to see if they agree a little bit. And I do believe they will. I'm pretty sure they will, but just out of prosperity, we are going to make sure that we don't leave any stone unturned. Oh, what? So 21 on the RSI. Wow. Okay, so this one is set even a lot lower, 16,900. So yeah, still within the blue box area. But yeah, as you can see, the lower we close inside this box, the more the probability is going to be for at least hesitation, trending, and yeah. So yeah, as soon as we start literally closing below the 17,400 range, I would at least close a good chunk of my position, just to make sure and to wait it out, and then we see what happens. But yeah, this is all up to you. Actually, I'd rather not give too much advice on what to do and just give you the levels, but I keep receiving a lot of questions about how they should interpret these things. And yeah, maybe I'm being a little bit too vague on these things, but this is also why I have a Discord channel. If you want to join me on the Discord channel, just go over to the website wolvesofbybit.com. There's a little description about how you can join the Discord channel. It involves being registered under the affiliate membership that I have, and it just replaces the fee that some other channels and groups are demanding to be part of their Discord channel. I think it's more fair because it doesn't cost you anything. Okay, it gives me a kickback, but the affiliate revenue I promised to share the revenue with the most active traders on the platform. So this will make for a nice ambiance of people trying to motivate each other, help each other to move forward, because better trades make more trades, and this is how everybody is able to profit from it. So yeah, I hope you understand this. But enough about the channel. Let's keep going down the line and let's see what we read here on the 1 hour time frame. So here we are at 15.15. Let's read this out. 15.15. So yeah, even a little bit lower, 16,752. So what does this tell me? What does this tell me? On the higher time frames, on the 5 hour, having a close really this low under the purple line, I think we can already make a conclusion. But since the 5 hour time frame is rather long, it is actually possible to see a long wick reaching down, as long as it doesn't hit the 16,000. Oh wow, this one is even going to 15,000. So yeah, let's slide this one up. So 15,150. Wow, this is extreme. Okay, so as long as the wick doesn't come down under here, it's not going to break and really be aggressive. But the aggressiveness is going to come here. Once we get like a steep dive under here, then you know for sure that this is not going to turn around. This is going for the deep end. Okay, so yeah, very, very interesting reads. Very, very interesting. Now, just to wrap all this up, what I would like to do is just have a look at the dollar index and see what the dollar is doing. So like I was expecting yesterday, I did believe that we would be seeing a swipe to the upside, creating some bearish divergence, and here we even have it on the second strike. Yes, second strike of bearish divergence. So probably, most probably, more downtrending for the dollar. And on the other hand, here on the E-mini futures, we had this series of bearish divergences, especially coming from this end here and all this here. As you can see, it's this entire structure here, creating a push to the downside. But look at this on the 5 hour chart. Already we have a new bullish divergence setting in and waiting to be confirmed. Now, what would break the structure? I hope by now you already understand these things. That is actually having a closing. Let's do like this. Let's remove this. A closing under the, you know what, that's I don't like it. I don't like it. Way too many lines. Here we go. We don't need to put too much detail on E-mini futures. Basically, we don't really care about that. But yeah, so what we want to see is at least a bounce here and just move up from here. What could happen is just a recovery and start moving up. Everything is possible from here. But what we don't want to see, what we do not want to see, is actually price ranging here below the red line, below the 3,542. So yeah, for now, E-mini futures is looking rather safe. So if we apply the idea of the inverse correlation between the dollar index and the traditional markets and Bitcoin, we could assume, I say assume, so it's not a conclusion, and nothing is sure in this game, but we could expect at least a momentum, a drive back to the upside. We do see stochastics being rather low, so being here in the bearish control zone, it might be possible that E-mini futures is still going to trend a little bit longer before it takes a real recovery. But for now, as long as we don't break any of those two levels, I think more uptrend is in the cards for E-minis. As long as we stay above the red line, I think we're even rather safe, and nothing is lost. Things could still be recovered. A little bit just like what we've seen on Bitcoin. Same thing, same conclusion. For now, yeah, it is still trying to make some lower reads on the price. Let's see where she goes, where she holds, and I would like to see you guys tomorrow on the same channel, same time. Remember, 12:30 UTC. We will there. If you want to join the Discord channel, I already said so. Join in on the affiliate program and you will get an immediate invite. It's actually super easy. What you do is you go to the website Wolves of Bybit. You scroll down a little bit, you sign up here using the green button. This will lead you to the signing up of Bybit under the affiliate status. And then afterwards you send me an email using this form. Give me your nickname that you want to use the email address that you used for Bybit, and maybe in the message you can also add the user ID that you get on Bybit, so you're easily identified on the platform, and I will send you an invite to the Discord channel right away. Don't worry, for now it's not a zoo. I try to keep it as small as possible, and this is for me the best way to ensure that all the people in the Discord channel are of good intention. You know, I don't want to have an open channel for everybody, because I've already seen how those get populated by very toxic people, accounts that are only there to ruin the experience. So I really think that this would be the better way to create a community that wants to help each other, just because there's something to gain behind it. And of course, you will get the registration bonus. I think it's even raised to $100. Don't quote me on this. I need to confirm this with the support of Bybit. But you get the bonus. You don't have to pay a thing. And if you don't like it, you're always free to leave. There are no strings attached. All right, so all this being said, I hope to see you guys tomorrow, 12:30 UTC. This is GMT 0. So make a little note of your own time zone, do the calculations so that you will be able to join me on the live chat. Type away your questions. I want to help understand technical analysis and strategies a lot more. I'm not into spoon feeding information. I really want to create a better set of traders, because there's nothing selfish about it, you know. There's no need to be selfish. Some people think that the market only rewards a few people that are on the winning side of a trade, but guess what? This is total BS. Of course, right here, the people who shorted at the bottom, yeah, they're on the losing end. Of course, there have to be a few losers, but when you look at this entire thing here, there are shorters who took profit here. There are shorters who entered. There are longers who took profit here. It's a giving and taking, you know. So better traders will just make so that the technical analysis will stand much stronger. Okay, I want you guys to understand this. There is no I in this entire trading thing. No, there are I's, but you know what I mean. All right, so I'm gonna leave you on this note. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Be there and be square.